May's a good month. It's a fun month. Just to be out of the races and do hard training and focus on that. Like I've said all along, for what we need to do, we have the best, undoubtedly the best team in the world. And you're starting to see Roberto ride good, and you know, I wouldn't want to be on another team riding against the team that we have for the tour or for the mountains. It's a good team. I mean, we still have to do our job and be safe and be smart. But on paper, it's almost an ideal situation. Freddie's the best, man. Freddie, you're the best. Did you know his middle name is The Best? His name is Freddie The Best Viana. He has a hat that says Freddie's the best. There used to be Freddie.com, and then it was Radio Freddie, and now it's just Freddie the Best. Or you can just call him the best. So no,
I think it's both ways. Compliment and...
I've known Freddie for a long time. I was the new guy on the team, so I didn't get the good massage like this. Now I started at the bottom.
Oh,
but
I don't actually remember.
I don't even know who gave. Maybe they didn't even give me a massage back then. I may have been cleaning bikes.
Do you believe it?
All joking aside, Freddie is damn good. I don't want to call him the best because then he gets a big head.
Yeah. Well.
Look at it's already getting bigger. But the man loves his job. You know, he's passionate about it. Shit, his phone's always on. He's full time. These guys, they all come from this region in Belgium called Izegem. That's the name of the region. That would be like saying, I guess that would be like a county in America. So it would be like me saying I'm from Travis County. So all these Belgian mafiosos come from Izegem. That's not the city. Is that a city? No, it's not a city.
It's a city.
Oh, never mind. Change all that. It's a city.
With a lot of old cycling.
But all these guys are from that area. So then everything that comes from that area then is the best. Like Freddie's the best. If a cake comes from Izegem, it's good. I don't really eat the cakes though, you know? They're too fattening.
The rice cakes.
Rice cakes I eat, but that frangipan stuff,
Yeah,
holy shit, you could build a house with those, man. I mean, I'm serious, they're like honey cookies.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right, honey cookies. I could ride all day on honey cookies. He comes to all the training camps, which is good. That's what's nice about those camps, it's a smaller group. One mechanic, one soigneur, one director, one rider. Very intimate. Just sit around. That's the way they started, so it's cool that we can still do that. I know why they started. I don't know if it was more because we didn't know the climbs or if it was more to just do hard training. In the end, you end up accomplishing both. You get to know the courses perfectly, and you also get 4, 5, 6 days of really hard training, which I come out of those things a lot better than I go in, stronger for the season. So I think probably originally we just wanted to see the courses and get to know them. And then the side effect was good fitness. But you know, it's remarkable that nobody does them. But you know, in cycling they want to, everybody wants to do their own thing. You know, they would never copy somebody else. So it's fun. I understand that.
Until it becomes tradition.
Well, it's already a tradition for us. I don't know what the next generation will do. Okay.
Oh, it's tight.
Yeah.
What's this thing do, Jean-Marc?
You have a whole graphic with power, with heart rate, distance, average distance. You can see everything.
Are the handlebars straight? Yeah.
hey man, these are loose.
Yeah.
Zo Mark.
Yeah, I know that, yeah, but what can I do? But for training, no, that's I say it's that piece of, and you can.
Is it calibrated? Don't need to do
No.
it.
You have to do it.
Train's right out there. This way?
Yeah, that way, and the traffic lights to the left.
Nice day. Nice day.
On this bike, he is 1 centimeter more backwards, his seat. And I mean, the distance from the top of the seat to the handlebars is exactly the same, but everything is like moved more backwards. And this angle is better, I think. The angle from his leg and his body, which is normally where all the power comes from. It looks more powerful than the position more forward. You constantly have to try to improve. I don't think it's ever the best, or I think it's a theory that normally when you're more backwards you have more power. So you have to find the combination between aerodynamics. Aerodynamics is everything forward. There's a limit of 5 centimeters, so you cannot be 4 centimeters behind your bottom bracket. That's not allowed. It's 5. So he was on 5. Now on this bike he is 6 centimeters behind, and he feels like he can use more power. The first time trial is the mountain time trial. So depending on how the first 15 kilometers are, we might decide that the first part he rides with the time trial bike, and then at the bottom of the climb there's a bike change to a climbing bike.
Alrighty.
On his climbing bike he is 8 centimeters behind his bottom bracket. So if he goes from a position of 5 centimeters during the race to 8 centimeters, it's a big difference, and your legs have to be able to adapt immediately to that. It's only 1 centimeter of difference from 5 to 6, but it can feel better.
Indeed, 250.
En dan nog wat, hè? Net de easy.
Als je stretchen, dan hoor je het. En dan is het een mooi
Ja, goed. Een andere doet er heel tegen de grond, hè?
Here goes Jean-Marc. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Here, I'll put in the bike stand for you.
Hey?
I'll put it in the bike stand for you. It's nice.
Like it?
I like it.
Yeah, good scores. It's
Yeah.
a little bit like Mets, hè?
It's a combination. It's not as hard as Mets, but it's good. It's pretty. In the
pretty.
forest and stuff.
Mustard fields. And
Yeah,
It's nice.
it's very nice.
Hey,
Ja.
What?
you're always riding in the water also, eh? Whenever there was so much water, you were riding inside.
That shit on the side of the rim there. Yeah, but I don't want to get run over by a car.
What?
I don't want to get run over.
Ouais, donc c'est la... On a dit qu'il y avait un truc. Il a fait pour venir.
Got that. Thanks.
Mark.
Hey man, don't start.
It takes a very steady hand. Thank you. Okay. All right. Cool.
Ai. We zijn toch dat stek nog een keer doen.
Dat hè? Nee, het laatste.
Ja, daarvan.
This feels a lot better on the climbs, eh? This position.
Yeah, it feels good. Seat was a little low.
It was low, eh?
Yeah.
I don't know who said.
Ja.
See, with the other position, with 5 centimeters behind, on a hill like that, he wouldn't be able to stay in the seat so long. When you're further backwards, you're able to develop more power from your back, and you can stay in the seat longer. Otherwise, with his seat more in the front, he would be standing up already now. And on a long climb like this, to save energy, it's better that first of all he has more aerodynamic and stays in the seat. So that this year we start earlier in mountains. We start already in stage number 7 with a mountain, like a medium mountain stage.
Then it's flat after that, right?
Then it's two flats. Then it's Alpe d'Huez and the uphill time trial. So that will also play a role, that the positions in the overall classification will be defined earlier in the race.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, the only person, I mean,
Otherwise you have 10 flat stages, which everything can happen there. You have to pay attention to big groups that go away, and that can take 5 or 6 minutes or 10 minutes. If it would turn out that for some reason he's not in the lead or something, and it's close, it's 30-40 seconds, this is still a great opportunity to make up that time.
How about we take it back here, and then we take this little schnock, D157. Then we take Profilieu, Fremont, and climb again.
Okay, but then we do that now.
Yeah, turn around.
Okay, so we go back to Molne.
No, we turn before that, D157. Yeah, close to that town.
And then?
Yeah, 157, see? And then back to this, the little one. Profilieu, Fremont.
Le Creux.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. Anybody got any water in there or what?
Do you have water in here?
That's good.
No water.
That's good. Beer? Coke?
Nothing.
Good.
In Breize, you look for D28.
Well, this is the road I crossed over.
Yeah.
Before.
Molne.
And then, so now I'm gonna take a right.
Yeah.
Hey, Jean
Want
Marc.
some drinks?
Yeah.
We'll stop for a little bit, buy some drinks.
Serious problems with these fucking bars, man.
Don't move it too much, eh?
It's the vibration of the road, man. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kijk, het is veel lastiger gekomen of dat was, hè. But we're gonna drill here and here.
Yeah. Are you gonna
This is better, eh? Yeah. The right one is better, but
still needs a.
yeah.
Are you gonna buy a drill or borrow a drill?
We're gonna find some solution. So it's okay. Don't think about that.
Come on, let's go.
Small hole.
With the 4. But the best is with hoe you call it? With hoe noem je draad? Met draad in? With the thread. The best is normally with thread, but for now I'm gonna do it just
a
here
hole,
on a hole
and a screw,
and a
bolt.
screw. Yeah. And then after I do it with yeah.
Tight, man.
Maar
tight.
hard aanspannen.
Ja.
Maar handspannen.
Hard spannen.
aanspannen.
Hard en
Slang
stijf.
trekken.
Kom, weg. Slang trekken.
Okay, right turn on that.
Ja, on the D28.
It's a good guy though.
With the guy with the... I like the old guy. He was playing in cowboy films before.
Who's what?
Cowboy films, westerns.
Shit.
Did you see his legs?
papier.
Oui.
Voilà.
Très bien.
Passez une bonne journée.
Merci, merci.
Au revoir.
Heb je er allemaal al koffie?
Ah, maar ja, een beetje water en...
What do you got?
Dat is klaar.
What you got there? Chocolate?
All you guys do is sit around and eat chocolate. Not for me. No.
Not for you?
Ah, jong.
Oh, dat is
Chocolade,
dat
jong?
is karakter. Ja, hey.
Pick up.
Ik kom er van Jan, hè.
From the city. He's on the same program as Jan, hè?
Really good ones.
Yeah? Alright, give him one.
Wil je open het?
That's the big. Hurry up, man. Come on. Hurry up. Okay. Hurry up. Ja, wordt aan de deuren toe, hè. Ze zijn not aan Benhuis, hè. They're afraid that we go inside again. Close the door, hè.
Too hot hem.
Might be difficult.
Got it! Too hot hem. Ja. Allee.
Oh, the same kind.
Ja. Oké.
Ja, het beste zin ik.
Well, it really tells this thing, this SRM power meter tells everything. It tells basic stuff like speed, distance, temperature, average speed, cadence, and power. The most important being the power. Also for me, the most important probably the cadence. In the last couple of years, I really started paying attention to that. But its real purpose is the power output in watts. So I started a couple years ago using one spring of '99, and then just over time added them on every bike. So training time trial bike, training road bike, and even racing bikes as well at certain times of the year. Hello. Is this going to add to it or take away?
It's all good.
And the watts are important because they don't lie. The heart rate can actually trick you because it's not a. It's sometimes hard to tell if you're tired or not tired with the heart rate, aside from how you feel. But if you have the two to compare, then you know that, Jesus, I prefer the smooth ride about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's
But the watts they're real-time watts. They're not, there's no delay. It's the real output that's coming out of the crank. And if you can cross-compare that to the heart rate, very, very beneficial. So, for example, these tests. Let's say I'm riding a climb at 400 watts, and my heart rate, if I'm really fit, would normally be 150, 160. If it's 140 or 150, then I know that the heart rate isn't climbing in relation to the watts. If I bumped it up to 450 watts on a climb, the heart rate stayed at 160, and I could just feel that was struggling,
then that tells me that I'm fatigued, I'm still tired, and that I should probably back off. Whereas if you feel good, you can ride at 450 watts, 170 heart rate, and you know that you're recovered and rested and ready to work. This is going to be bumpy as shit getting in here. Every team has a leader or a captain or a favorite rider, you know, somebody who the team is focused on or centered around. And then just like any company or any business or any sport or any endeavor, you have different kinds of leaders. You have some that are more quiet and more laid back, not very involved. And then you have others that are more involved. I'm probably more that type of leader, I guess. But I think the critical thing is that even if you're not the leader at every race, you still act like the leader and you still show, even if you're working for somebody. Say I'm working for Roberto in Tour of Aragon. He's the leader of the team for that race. But you can lead by your example. You can show the other riders on the team how to be a good domestique, or how to be a good worker, or how to be a good professional. So I think it's important that you not just be a leader, that when he's not on form or when he's struggling in a race, you just sit back at the back and you say, okay, I'm not gonna lead the team, but I'm also not gonna work for the team. That to me is not a good leader. I think you have to fulfill the role that's needed. If that means winning the Tour de France, or if that means helping somebody in the Tour of Flanders, then you have to do that. It's not a conscious effort on my part. I mean, when I go to a training camp and I devote the time to be away, to be in a hotel, to be on the road, special mission, then it's my opinion that you have to really tee it up and maximize your time there. And Tenerife was probably a camp where some of these guys hadn't never been in an environment like that, like Victor or like Roberto, and they'd never seen the day after day after day hard training, and they saw that there. I mean, I remember the first day we did 5 or 6 hours. We were at the dinner table that night, and Roberto said, "What are we doing tomorrow?" Just sort of nonchalant. And somebody said, "Another 6 hours." His face, he almost crawled under the table. Because he couldn't believe it. But that's what it takes. I mean, when you devote the time to go, you've got to really tee it up and just maximize your time there. Do one thing. Train.
How can a guy...
Roberto has only scratched the surface. I mean, once he sees what serious training and a serious training program does for himself, he's going to be a totally different rider. He's still, not that he didn't train hard before, but he probably didn't train organized. Oh yeah, he was like a deer in the headlights when he saw that wind tunnel. I mean, that was a whole new world for him. But a lot of these things for him are new experiences. I mean, the wind tunnel was new, these training camps are new. The way even a small race like Aragon, the way the team rode for him, very windy there the last couple days, kept him out of the wind. He called Johan after the race. He says, I can't believe the team. He said they carried, in his words in Spanish, where they carried me around on a platter. He's not used to that. I mean, tell me it was a good team, strong team, but it's never been that level of care or that level of teamwork. He can be a very good rider. I think he can. You know, his issue is going to be time trialing. He's always going to be at the mercy of the courses that they select. If they select a Tour de France or any big tour with a lot of long time trials, he's going to have a hard time making up the time in the mountains. But I think number one, they change the courses every year, so you never know. And number two, he can work on the time trialing, spend time in the wind tunnel, spend time on his position, spend time training for it, spend time mentally getting comfortable with it. He's never going to win long time trials. Instead of losing 3 or 4 minutes, get that down to 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. And then, 2 minutes for a climber like him isn't hard to make up. First of all, the tour would be, good preparation for him to do the Tour of Spain 1 month later. And I think he views his program as a place to be that he's going to be for several years, for 3 or 4 years to come. And my situation is not set in stone that I'll be here for 4 years. So he may be the team leader in 2 or 3 years.
So he's definitely got that kind of potential. You guys are looking at him to.
Oh, I think when you look at our sport, he's a 26-year-old rider who's already won a big tour, can climb like that, smart guy, definitely a leader, potential tour winner. Well, it started with Johan. And the team is trained for that because of the tour. That's basically what they have to do. And, that's what they'll have to do with the Tour of Spain. And, when you have somebody in the jersey, the leader's jersey, it's full service. If it's wind, if it's the fact they need a bottle or they have a mechanical problem or whatever, they have to think about one thing, and that's just protecting that jersey. It's not rocket science. It's easy to, again, if it's windy, you protect them from the wind. If they need anything in the race, you cater to that. It's not hard. And the thing is for me, it's actually quite fun. It's nice to reverse the roles and to be in a position where there's no pressure, because the guy who's leading the team has a lot of pressure. If he has a bad day, if he cracks, then he's let his team down and they feel let down. So it's nice to be the other guy where there's no pressure and the only job you have is to support somebody else. Well, obviously they change it every year, but they try to, it's interesting how they select the course. They try and make it exciting for the public and for television and things like that. So if you have a guy that's won a couple times in a row, it's almost as if they try and throw in some curveballs. And not that that's a bad thing. They just try and mix it up so that you don't always have the same result every year. Or maybe you don't arrive to the same result the same way. So, last year they threw in a team time trial. Took out one of the long time trials. This year they added an uphill time trial. So these are all just different tweaks that they've done that are going to make the race look and feel and act different. So every year you have to look at what they've done and say, okay, how do we prepare for that? Last year there was more climbing and less time trialing. So what do? Well, we train more on the climbs and less on the time trials. This year is hard. It's a hard Tour de France. There's about 5 or 6 days there, 2 days in the Alps, 3 days in the Pyrenees, where it's very hard. So we'll have to focus on the climbs, focus on that uphill time trial, which I've never really done, maybe 2 or 3 in my life. The best thing for us is a hard Tour de France. That's the good news. If they made it easy, if they did 3 weeks with laps around Paris, we probably wouldn't win. So the fact that it changes, the fact that it's more challenging every year, it's different every year, it's good for us because we're willing to do the homework. If they add tricky stages, well, we're willing to go there and do the recon and try and understand that. Whereas I don't think anybody else does. This year's interesting because we start in Dunkirk, where I had probably the worst crash of my career, just in terms of road rash. I had it hips, knees, elbows, butt, back, head. 95 Tour de France, one of the first stages, in the first 2 or 3 days. I've never been so beat up in my life. Crashed at about 40 miles an hour. Ripped my seat completely off my bike. First of all, to take minutes out of other teams, which we were able to do last year, even though we got second. Even a team like Telecom took 45 seconds out of them, and that time, as a team time trial, counts for individual time. That's the first priority. But then if we could win, it could be good too. We have to be a little more smooth. I think last year we were pretty choppy. Irona, hola, buenos días. ¿Cómo estás?
But yeah,
Valencia.
they don't say the C's here, right? It's the TH.
Well, here they don't speak Spanish.
Catalonia.
Catalan.
Catalonia.
Totane. Bon dia, merci, adieu, adieu.
See if we can get through this one. Going back to report guys like George.
Pull up, traffic. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
So, how do you make sure that
How do we do what? Well, it's a long season. George can train and prepare and race Paris-Roubaix and Tour of Flanders and race for the win and still ride the Tour de France and be very effective there. Be one of the strongest guys on the team. Even win a stage if he gets the opportunity. So, I mean, somebody that does the springtime all out and the Tour, that's probably it. They probably don't do the Vuelta and the fall races. But the team is big enough to do, I spoke yesterday about doing a full program. You need more riders, but to do the Tour and the Classics and the Vuelta, I think we have enough guys. We might be looking for a few extras for the Vuelta. That could be tough, but everybody knows their job here. I haven't had any discomfort with Roberto or George or Chechu or anybody that seems like they just want to ride their own races or ride their own program. I mean, everybody knows that Postal wants a Tour de France victory, and everybody's focused on that.
The mechanic part is Jean-Marc, but I prepared the cooler with whatever you can think about. Plus I was giving my first aid bag with whatever you might need when something happened. Winter clothing, so I was bringing the stuff from Amstel because I took home and my wife cleaned. And so whatever he might need to know about clothing is in the car. Towels, a few towels. You never know. He would like to clean himself a bit. There's fruit. Yeah, he will eat some bananas as well. And if he's really hungry, there are some sandwiches, cheese, ham. What else? Only cheese and like 3 different kinds of sandwiches I make, just in case. So fruit sandwiches are there. But normally he said, I will go only on the Cliff Bars. But you see, a lot of stuff for one guy. I have spare clothing with me. Spare clothing, new clothing. So everything about first aid extra in my box and ultrasound. You know. It's like, yeah, I'm on the road like for a team, and I have only one guy. I can't afford to say no. I'm not bringing this. I'm not bringing that. No.
You start riding immediately?
What do you think? Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm afraid everything's gonna be closed otherwise. Is my rain bag here, Freddie? Yes. What about extra gloves? Do you have any extra gloves?
Extra gloves.
I'll put it there.
Winter gloves. Huh?
Just those black.
Put it in the back.
To get out here, you have to follow
Here's the
Annecy.
RD 911.
Yeah, here we have to take this. But direction Annecy first to get out. You have your radio with you?
No, on my phone.
No radio?
Mag me herinneren.
Gressi, QC. Follow QC. Okay?
Okay.
Yep. To win the tour and to win whatever other big stage race, 3 weeks. But physically, it needs to be an athlete that has no weakness. You need a cyclist who is really good in everything and who is in one of the three, one of the two things maybe. You have time trial and uphill. You can have a very good time trialist who defends himself very well in the mountains. He can win the tour. Or you can have a very good climber who doesn't lose too much time in the time trials. He can win the tour also. If you have one weakness in there, it's not enough. I had a look in your bag to check to look for the radio, but it was turned on since Amstel Gold Race.
So it's dead.
Yeah.
We've been around here a lot though. Dauphiné and Classic des Alpes. That whole start was all from
Everything from
Classic des Alpes 2 years ago.
Heb je meer kans dat de Madeleine open is of de Glandon? Waarom? Omdat...
For me, it's between Lance and Ulrich. I would have liked that Patani was there, because Patani attacks in the mountains, and it's always good to have somebody else break up the race. Don't you remember this climb?
Yeah.
2 years ago, Dauphiné. Shit weather.
Can you...
You want another one?
This is
You want another one?
yeah.
So you need a good rider. You need a good team. Also very important. Who can defend the jersey? You need a team with experience. How to defend the jersey. You need a team that has confidence in the leader, and the leader have to have confidence in his team also. Mentally, you need also to be very strong. You need to be able to stay concentrated during 3 weeks, always riding in the front. You can never have one moment of relax, and sometimes that takes more out of a person than the physical effort. The mental concentration, always be there in the race, after the race.
Bonjour, Ben. Bonjour.
You have a 3? For this?
It's...
Is this now the same position as your race back from last year?
Yeah, more or less. Did you see the house I'm remodeling back there? Not bad.
Is that with the tower there where Luke is going to stand to see you come up the hill?
Yeah. Throw things down at me.
Normally somebody who is wearing the yellow jersey in the Tour de France, he gets less rest than somebody else. After the race you have the implications of the protocol, the press, the medical control, and so you're always one hour later in the hotel than everybody else. And if you add that up during 3 weeks, it takes a lot out of somebody. That's also the reason why sometimes the yellow jersey is in the last week is not so strong anymore. There's people who can take it easy during the 2 weeks, and then at the last week they are stronger. If you have the yellow jersey for a long time, at the end you have to they get tired because of the mental pressure always. So it takes a lot of different things. You have to be lucky that he crashes. Somebody can be sick. I mean, there's so many things that can happen during 3 weeks, and it really needs to fit. Everything needs to fit in well to be able to win a race like the Tour de France. Oh wait. Okay, so Col de la Madeleine. There's a snow at 6 kilometers from the top. Oh. Cannot pass.
How much snow?
A lot. From an avalanche. And it's raining and 6 degrees. And there's no alternative roads to get to the Col de Glandon.
What's that?
There is no alternative way to get to Col de Glandon. So we'll go as far as we can and we'll see if you can pass by bike or not. The car cannot pass.
What is Salier? Salier, wat ligt dat?
Eh?
Salier. Just.
Those are nice rain jackets. Scott. Now everybody knows that it's really the main objective once you have the yellow jersey is have trust in the team. Keep everybody together, wait for a guy that's a little bit more tired, and then you know that as long as you have the whole team around the leader, things will be okay. That's what I've learned out of the last 2 years. I think last year there was a lot of pressure on him because in '99 he came to the start of the tour and nobody was expecting him to win the tour. But last year was already from the start really all eyes on Lance and all the eyes on the team. And I don't think that will change a lot this year. I don't think the pressure is stronger now than last year, because everybody expects from Lance that he will win the Tour de France.
Yeah.
And last year it was the same. Well, it's the end of the Spring Classics, it's the last one. So for a couple of guys, it's the end of the first part where there has been some objectives. For example, George, Eki, Christian, and the fact that all those guys were still in good shape. It's a good thing to know that after such a long period, they're still in a good shape. So they're resting now. Mm-hmm. And on the other hand, it's the end of the first racing period of Lance, but it's also like the start of the real Tour de France preparation, and the fact that he's in such a good shape to start these training camps is a very, very positive thing to know. If you don't like this, you don't do it.
What is it about it that you like so much?
For me, it's like doing something that
I mean, I'm doing the same thing like I did before, but not actively. But it's like realizing something that I would always have wanted. I mean, for me, as a rider, Tour de France was a big race, and I focused on the Tour de France a lot of times to try to win a stage, or because it's an important race, and I did well in the Tour, but I didn't have the physical possibilities to win the Tour. But now I'm also preparing the Tour, and with the objective to win it, but not as a rider, but as a director. So it's like filling in something that I never could accomplish as a rider in another way. So it's for me, it's the last 2 years have been 2 years of great satisfaction.